Hi there. I want to show you something interesting that you can do with your Microbit, which involves another input which we haven't looked at yet, which are the acceleration one. So we've looked at on button A pressed, on shake, but the one I want to show you is this acceleration one here. Now, as I mentioned, the BBC Microbit has what's called an accelerometer in it. Now, this accelerometer measures the Earth's gravity as you tip it from side to side. So I'm just going to drag this over acceleration. Okay, it'll go grey. Just to tell you a little bit more about an accelerometer, it's basically measuring the milli G force that's being applied to the actual device. Okay, and it will return a number in a particular dimension. So what you'll see if I just go back again, what you'll see, it says acceleration mg in x, and you can also choose y and z. I'm not going to talk about strength today. But basically, because your microbit exists in 3 dimensions, it can be tipped from side to side, which is the X. It can be tipped up and down, which is actually I think it's the Z, and then the Y is the twisting motion. So one way we can see what this is like is if I stick this inside a forever loop, and do forever here, and just do a show number, because it's going to be a number that this acceleration is, and we'll just shove it in there. Now, when this emulates, you can see the numbers take quite a long time to scroll across my display, but you can see you've got AX there. And what you get is from side to side, if you tip it all the way to one side, it goes up to 1023, and if you go all the way to the other side, it goes down to minus 1023. So that's the biggest number you're going to get. And when I have it completely flat, it should go to 0, which I can spend ages getting. 1 is pretty close. There you go, 0. So that's how you can measure how far it's been tipped. You can also change it to Y, and you'll notice that now it changes when I go up and down. Okay, so it's minus 0, minus 1023, and plus 1023. So you can play around with that. Now, we've been working with music, and what I thought would be quite a nice idea is put this number into a playing note, because you know that when we play a note, as we discussed last lesson, music, and we do play tone, so let's stick that one in there. You know that when you click inside middle C, you get the little keyboard, but notice it also changes the frequency, and we explored how low frequencies make low sounds. Look, hopefully you can just about hear that. And high frequencies make high sounds. What happens if we put this accelerometer reading inside the tone? I'm going to get rid of that show number. Okay. And now if I play that, this is measuring the Y, so it's the up and down motion. Watch what happens when I press play. Notice you get the little headphone jack appearing. So notice now when I move forward, it's starting to play lots of random notes. Now, it sounds lovely, doesn't it? I can make it sound even lovelier by perhaps, I'm going to change that to X, I prefer X. And I can change it to a slightly shorter beat. So let's try it with an 1/8 of a beat, and now see what happens. So when I go from side to side, now it stops when I go to the left because those numbers are negative, and clearly you can't play a negative frequency. But if I go to the right, beautiful, isn't it? Now I might want to make my musical instrument, because that's basically what I made. I'm going to stop it now. I might want to make my musical instrument more playable by having it work both sides. So one thing I can show you is underneath math, we've got this thing called absolute, the absolute of, and essentially what that does is it removes the negative. So it will remove any negative elements on a number. So if I drag that purple accelerometer reading into there, and then drag that whole thing back into here, hopefully our lovely musical instrument will now work in both directions, like so. So have a go at making one of those. To extend it, you might want to think about multiplying this number if you want to go even higher. You could really try for some high frequencies. You could change the beat. There's lots of lovely things you can do with this lovely musical instrument. So why not have a go? Just do it in the emulator and see what you can do. And we'll try it next lesson. Okay, thank you.